What about nuclear energy? You have some investments in nuclear energy.
Yeah, I mean, what I've always said is I think the end state of the world is a combination of nuclear and solar, probably 80-20 one way or the other, sort of terrestrial-based nuclear. I think fusion is likely to work at some point in the next couple of decades, and that's a really big deal. I think that it's good to have a backup option. It's good to have two sources, but like it's all sort of fusion when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm big. I mean, I think fusion. I think it's definitely possible to make fusion work, but I think and I used to be a big fan of like having of that as the long-term energy source, but I'm inclined to think like indirect fusion from the sun essentially is going to be the primary source, and then to some degree there will be fusion reactors for maybe if
cargo
you're really,
ships or whatever.
Yeah, if you're really far north or really far south or something.
What about the risks of nuclear energy?
Of fusion?
Of fusion? Yeah, I assume there's some risk. There's no risk?
Not really.
Zero? I'm an idiot? I don't...
No. No, I mean, with fusion, the difficulty is keeping it going. Not, with fission, you have some meltdown risk, although there's new technology on the fission front that makes the meltdown risk extremely low. But with fusion, the great difficulty is keeping the fire from going out. It's quite hard to sustain a fusion reaction unless you have something very big like the sun, and where you have the sun has gravitational confinement of the fusion reaction. So since you can't do gravitational confinement on Earth, you have to do some sort of electromagnetic confinement in one form or another, or a kinetic confinement by slamming things into each other. So it's quite tricky to prevent a fusion explosion from not immediately extinguishing.
Got it.
So fusion is like...
I mean, probably what you do is just repeat it every second or whatever.
So I mean, just to sort of, fusion is like when you take, say, two hydrogen atoms or two hydrogen isotopes technically, and slam them together and form helium. That's fusion. Right. And then fission is like when you've got like a heavy atom that is decaying at a relatively like a noticeable rate, like uranium or plutonium, and decays into smaller atoms. Then that's fission.
Okay, I didn't do so well in science, so we're going to try to move along.